Hey YouTube, I'm here to bring you a teardown of a Galaxy S6. I'm going to offer you two versions of this video, the original version, which I'll throw down in the description with the original repair, and this abbreviated version, which will just be the basics of how to disassemble and replace your screen and some other internal components. You'll need a suction cup, small Phillips screwdriver, a nylon spudger, a couple of guitar picks, and a playing card is what I use to remove this. You'll also be needing a heat gun for this repair as the back is glued on. First step is to go ahead and remove the SIM card out of the device and make sure the device is powered off. We're then going to go ahead and take our heat gun and heat up the back of the device, get it nice and warm. Now this will take a few seconds to get this hot enough. You want to get it warm enough to melt the adhesive on the back, but not hot enough to damage the phone itself. Go ahead and take a suction cup and stick it on the back of the device. And if you do this nice and gentle, you won't hurt the back at all. We're just going to go ahead and pry backwards. You'll notice a little gap along the side here. Insert your pry tool here. And if you do this quick enough, you can actually rotate the guitar pick around the device without actually breaking the glass. Now take your time. If you feel resistance, go ahead and stop and heat it up again. Now once you do this, you want to be careful from refraining from yanking on the screen or this back placement and taking it out. Just be nice and gentle as you remove it. The next step is to go ahead and remove all 13 screws in the back here, all these silver screws. I'll point them out to you right here, 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 here. Now that those screws are removed, we're going to go ahead and remove the charging mat just from the back. Just be careful as you pry it up. It's got some light adhesive on the sides. The next step is to go ahead and heat up the front here. Now you actually only have 4 points of adhesive on the front of the screen. It's much like an S5. We're just going to heat up the corners around the side here. It'll be in the top left, right, bottom, left, and right corners. We'll see some adhesive holding the glass to the mid frame of the phone, but nothing really down the sides of the device. Now you want to be very careful here. This is where a lot of people will damage their phones. Heating up the front of the display will loosen the glue, but using a suction cup to pull it up may actually crack the display. So you want to be very gentle at this point. You don't want to pull it very hard. Be nice and gentle. Normally get a little bit of a opening along the side here. Just roll your guitar pick up. Go ahead and remove the suction cup. Undo this first corner, slide it around. Cut the adhesive around the second corner. You don't have to slide it down the side. You can actually start at the bottom and use the suction cup again. Cut it here, and then one last time down here at the bottom right hand side. Now with the adhesive removed, we're just going to go ahead and press against the back of the phone. See if we can't get this upper left-hand corner to pop out. And this is the side that will normally pop out for it, so you'll get a little gap. This upper right-hand side will actually stay clipped in. Just use your guitar pick, slide it down the device to loosen the clip that's holding this in. That'll go ahead and pop off where now you can normally pull the device out from the bottom upwards. You'll separate the back of the phone from the middle of the device. You can see the 4 adhesive patches just right here. Go ahead and get that set aside. Next step is to go ahead and remove the cables off the back of this phone to release the logic board. We have a couple cables to go ahead and pull up. Just using our nylon spudger. Just make sure not prying against any other pieces on the inside of the device like resistors or any other internal components. These pull up fairly easy. We went ahead and removed the front-facing camera. The next one is the front ribbon cable for the display. Pull up the cable for the battery. You can get to it just right next to the camera here. We also need to pull up the one for their earpiece speaker. These two antenna cables and the home button cable here. These just pop right off. With that done, we can go ahead and put our nylon spudger right where the front-facing camera used to be and pull the logic board towards the back of the device. There's one ribbon cable still holding it down, so be careful of that. You can go ahead and use your nylon spudger to go ahead and pop this cable off as well. Just be careful when you're twisting this, just don't damage anything. Now that the logic board removed, we can go ahead and set that aside. We have one screw here holding down the 3.5mm headphone jack. We'll go ahead and take that out. This is also cable is for the home button and the charge port as well. It actually wraps around to the front of the device. We'll talk about that in just a few seconds. The next step is to go ahead and remove the battery out of the device using our nylon spudger to stick it underneath. Now this is much harder than it looks in this particular video as I have removed this battery once before. So just twisting the spudger as you move it down We'll go ahead and pull it out. Just take your time. You may need to use a little bit of heat on the front of the device to warm up this side. You can see there's glue here and here that hold the battery in place. The next thing we're going to go ahead and do is just pull up the charge port ribbon cable here. You may have to use your spudge. There's a little bit of glue and adhesive that holds it down. Don't pull it all the way up. There's a ribbon cable for the button that goes around the side here. You don't want to rip that or damage it. Now on the display itself, you have adhesive around the top and the bottom, but also right here down the sides of this device is adhesive. This is the second place where you might damage your display when you're trying to remove it. I would suggest not removing this display unless it is currently broken. So to do this, we're also going to remove our little vibration module here, using just a sharp pick tool to pull this out. We'll also need to remove our earpiece speaker. There's a little flap right here you can pull up on and get a little leverage on the earpiece speaker, pulling this upwards. And there's a little tiny board still attached just right here. We'll go ahead and remove that as well. Now there's two little grommets here that may pop out. Just make sure you keep track of those so you can put them back in for the proximity sensor. Now we're going to pull back the home button cable here as well, so we'll be heating up the back of the device. Now we're going to go ahead and heat up the back of the device. We're going to go ahead in a little L-shaped pattern across the top and down the side of the screen. Now this is probably the thinnest display that I've seen on a phone. It is very brittle, so be careful when you're doing this. You will damage your phone display if it is not currently damaged. Now if it is already damaged, you can just use a suction cup and pull on it. Just be careful of the home button and the back buttons and the menu button down at the bottom there. So we're just going to heat up the front and the side of this phone. Now if you need to use a infrared laser to double check the heat, feel free to do that. Just don't get it above about 180 degrees Fahrenheit. We're just going to stick our playing card in between the top portion of the display, around the earpiece speaker grill. Then we're going to start moving it down the side. Now if you can, just gently press just right here to try to get your playing card underneath the display. You want to get it fully underneath the back of the display as well as the glass. Be careful of the ribbon cable to not damage that as well. It's working our way down. Now we can go ahead and see that we have a little bit of separation, so we can pull on it just a little bit. Be very careful as there's still adhesive holding this down. You're going to use this playing card to separate the adhesive from the back of the phone and to the display. Now you also need to heat up this portion of the device here. Get it nice and warm. You can use an infrared thermometer. Just don't get this part above about 180 degrees Fahrenheit. We use our card to get right back in between the adhesive and the display. Just being very gentle. Working our way down the device. Now you want to stop right before you get to the bottom buttons here. We can go ahead and just pull the device open a little bit. We're going to hold it and we're going to heat up the bottom portion of this. It's going to get nice and warm for us. There's adhesive that's holding in the back and the selection button down here. We're just going to go ahead and open it nice and gently and see if we can get those buttons to pull away. See that we have one pulled away, but it's still attached to the glass. That may happen. What you can do is use your playing card to try to loosen this, possibly the guitar pick as well. Go ahead and get that removed. Just be nice and gentle as you pull it up. You don't want to damage the light circuit on this. Now we still have one button attached to the mid frame of the phone as well. We're just going to pull this forward. Now you don't want to yank on this as it might rip the cable itself. Just using the nylon spudger, we're just going to get right underneath the edge of it and go ahead and pull that button back. Now with that done, we can go ahead and pull out the home button. Now if you're replacing just the screen, you don't need to actually remove either of these two parts. I hope you found the video helpful. Go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to me for future videos, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.